History is often written in the ink of treaties and the blood of battlefields. But the modern mind? The modern mind was born in a room. For 2 centuries, the French Salon was the engine of the Enlightenment. But it was also a paradox, a space ruled by women, populated by men. Here, philosophers, poets, and statesmen gathered. They brought the raw material, ideas, sedition, science. But the governance of these ideas belonged to her. The Salonnière. She did not just host, she curated. She separated the chaos of male ego from the art of conversation. Before the Salon, male intellectualism was rough, distinct, separated. The woman's role was to civilize the intellect, to force the wolf to sit at the table. This was the first great integration, a mix of genders that created a specific alchemy. But beneath the surface, a desire for separation was already brewing. The Salon was not merely a social gathering. It was a finishing school for the male ego. Here, talent was not enough. One needed esprit, wit. Philosophers like Fontenelle admitted that without the company of women, their thoughts remained rough diamonds. Valuable, yes, but unpolished and dull. The Salonnière held the keys to social ascension. A word of praise from her could launch a career. A raised eyebrow could end one. She was the gatekeeper of reputation. It was a symbiotic pact. Men provided the content, the science, the encyclopedias, the scandals. Women provided the context, the network, the safety, and the audience. She conducted the conversation like a symphony. If a debate became too heated, she cooled it. If it became too boring, she injected a spark. She was the moderator before the internet existed. But this required men to suppress their natural aggression. They had to learn the language of nuance. For the first time, the warrior class had to learn to speak softly to be heard. This was the height of la mixité, a belief that men and women improved each other through proximity. But proximity breeds contempt as often as it breeds understanding. To understand the root of the coming separation, we must leave the main hall. We must enter the most exclusive and controversial space of the 17th century. In the 17th century, Madame de Rambouillet invented the ruelle, the space between the bed and the wall. Here, she dictated the rules of honnêteté, politeness. But for many thinkers, this female governance was a cage. The philosopher Rousseau, a man of raw emotion, hated the salon. He felt that in the presence of women, truth was sacrificed for politeness. Rousseau argued for a separation. He believed that the mixed salon made men effeminate, stripping them of their civic virtue. He yearned for the Spartan club, men with men, iron, not silk. Here lies the philosophical fracture. Should the intellect be androgynous and cooperative? Or should the spheres be separate? The Salon said mix. The coming revolution would say separate. By the late 1700s, the English club began to invade Paris, places of smoke, gambling, and politics. Places where the watchful eye of the Salonnières was absent. 1789. The revolution promised liberty, equality, fraternity. But fraternity literally means a brotherhood. The mixed world of the aristocracy was the first victim. The new political spaces, the National Assembly, the Jacobin clubs, were rigorously segregated. The presence of women was no longer seen as civilizing, but as corrupting. When women tried to form their own political clubs, the Jacobins banned them. In 1793, the separation became law. Women were sent back to the home. The salon was closed. The philosophy of the separate spheres became the dogma of the 19th century. The man owns the public. The woman owns the private. The dialogue was broken. Without the female gaze to demand clarity and wit, the male space became technical, professional, and often brutal. We traded the art of conversation for the efficiency of debate. We spent the next 2 centuries strictly divided: the office and the home, the boardroom and the kitchen. We are still picking up the pieces of that separation. Today, we have returned to a strange form of segregation. Our digital algorithms sort us into tribes. Men's rights activists here, feminist circles there, echo chambers that resemble the angry clubs of the Revolution, not the mixed salons of the Enlightenment. Perhaps the philosophy of the Salon offers a forgotten lesson: that true intellectual progress doesn't happen in the comfort of separate spheres. It happens in the tension, the friction, and the beautiful difficulty of understanding the other.
Each view is a spark that reignites the story. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video on the Lost Practical channel.